How come nobody's texting back?
Not on today. It just goes to the computer. It's not a back and forth kind of texting thing.
No,
It's
I know, but
just-
normally it says that you've been signed up,
Maybe you did it wrong.
but maybe you did it.
You didn't even do it.
Sent this as a message.
You sent it by email.
Okay, I can maybe check it at the end of class
Sit
and
to.
let you know if you're in there. Okay, so to begin your notes, a transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. So it's basically a line that intersects two other lines. There are some details that they have to be in the same plane, and they don't all intersect at the same point, like making an asterisk. We don't want that kind of a setup. When we have, we're gonna have two lines a lot. When we have two lines in a transversal, as the picture shows up there, how many angles are formed in that picture?
Would you recommend
Yes. Something real similar to that. It makes 8 angles, 8 different angles. And what we're gonna work on today is pairs of those angles have a certain name. And we need to learn what those names are. So there's some vocabulary involved here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the names of the angles will depend upon where they are in the picture. Okay, so let me label, this line is L, this line is K, the transversal we'll call line T. Now to preview a few ideas, if this is the transversal, which angles are on the same side of the transversal? Well, which ones are on the left side of the transversal? 1, 2, or 1, 4, 5, and 8 are on the left side of the transversal. 2, 3, 6, 7 are on the right side of the transversal. Which ones are between the pair of lines? Which angles are between the pair of lines?
4, 5, 3, and 6.
4, 5, 3, and 6 are between the pair of lines. So then 1, 2, 8, and 7 are outside of the pair of lines. Okay. So using those ideas, same side of the transversal, between the lines, hopefully that helps us understand the vocabulary. Anyone still need the screen? Okay. So the angles that are referred to as corresponding angles are two angles that occupy matching positions. Now this is, out of all of them, the hardest one for students to remember or to understand. So let's spend enough time to make sure that you understand it. They occupy matching positions. Matching not as in flipping it over or turning it, just matching as in the upper left, the upper left, the upper right, the upper right, lower left, things like that. So at this top intersection, I'll put an angle 1. I would describe at that intersection it's the upper left. So then at this bottom intersection, which is the upper left? This one? So angle 1 and angle 2 are corresponding angles. They're in what I would describe matching positions. You understand what I mean by matching?
Yeah.
If you have some different words or want to write it differently, make sure you at least put an example so that you can see. If you want to write upper left, that might help you remember what we mean by matching positions. Okay. Right, so let me just number some more here. Okay, we said 1 and 2 were corresponding angles. What's another pair? Raise your hand, please don't shout it out. What's another pair of corresponding angles in the picture, Mitch?
4 and 3.
Okay, 4 and 3, and we would describe that as upper right. Okay, another
You
pair.
mean lower right?
3 and 4, At this intersection, 3 would be, I'm calling it upper because it's above and right. Out of these 4, it's the upper right angle. And then, ignore that. At this intersection, 4 is also the upper right. That makes sense? Okay, Colton?
7 and 6.
7 and 6, do you think he gave me a correct one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lower
7.
right and lower right.
Yep, this cross, it's lower left, right? So then there's one more pair, must have,
5 and 8, lower left.
5 and 8, lower left, lower left. Okay, so that's what we mean by corresponding, matching positions as in where it is in relation to that crossing. All right, another pair is alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. These are 2 angles that lie between the 2 lines. That's what the interior part of the name means. Interior, between the 2 lines. But on opposite sides of the transversal. So one's gonna be, in this picture, on the left side of the transversal, one's gonna be on the right side of the transversal. But they still have to be between the 2 lines. So yeah, Ben, I don't know if, taking notes, I know you can do the definitions in that, but then you're not able to put the picture on easily, are you? Or can you write that in by hand?
I'm sure I probably
You know, if that really works very well to take the notes that way.
could. It does.
So far. All right, so let me number, and I'm probably doing the numbering different on each of those. Okay, so I numbered all 8 angles, but not all 8 of them are interior angles. So which ones do I need to erase? Which ones are not between the 2 lines? 1 and 2, 8 and 7. Question? All right, now let's narrow it down to one pair that is on opposite sides of the transversal, but not at the same intersection, so don't name a linear pair. So not 3 and 4,
I'll go 4 and 6.
but 4 and 6 would work, all right? So I'll take away those. 4 and 6 would be a pair of alternate interior angles.
Yeah.
They're on different sides of the transversal, but between the pair of lines. If you trace the sides, I guess I should put that down. Trace the sides of angle 4 and 6. Notice it makes a capital Z or a Z. It's not necessarily capital. And sometimes it's flipped backwards or stretched out funny, but making a Z is where we will identify alternate interior angles. So the other pair, instead of that 4 and 6, was, I don't remember my numbers, maybe 3 and 5. If I trace those, it does make like a Z, but a weird looking Z and stretched out funny. So if you want to put that it makes a Z, that's what it is. Question? Okay, alternate interior angles. And I probably at times will abbreviate alternate interior angles. Just by habit, I do that. Okay, alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles. On these, they are 2 angles that lie outside the 2 lines. So they're exterior angles instead of interior angles. But they are also alternate. So they're on opposite sides of the transversal. So we'll do like we did last time and get rid of the ones that we don't want. Okay, alternate exterior. Which ones are not exterior? 4, 3, 5, and 6. These are not exterior because they're between the 2 lines. Okay, so those are the exterior ones. Which ones are alternate? If I pick angle 1, what angle is alternate exterior with angle 1? Which one?
7.
7. Okay. So 1 and 7 are alternate exterior angles. the 2 and 8 that I had were also exterior angles. Okay. So 1 and 7, 2 and 8. Now if you try and connect 1 and 7, it doesn't make a Z, it actually makes 2 separate V's, I guess.
Well, it could because you could go down
Well,
through the middle.
But angle 1 is made up of these 2, and angle 7 is made up of these 2. Yeah, I know they're part of a line that connects them, but they don't connect themselves.
An L,
An L and an L, or a V and a V.
an angle symbol and an angle symbol.
So basically 2 angles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bet you never thought of that one.
I bet you did.
I kind of did. Remember, I'm the best teacher, so I can
Oh,
things like
yeah,
that.
that's right.
Smartest teacher here too.
All right, same side interior angles. This one says 2 angles that lie between the 2 lines, because it says interior. But notice it doesn't say alternate, it says same side. So this time they're going to be on the same side of the transversal. Same side of the transversal. So which ones will those be like? So first, let's eliminate the ones that are not interior angles. So which ones should I get rid of? And I know Austin Waller's got this idea, but how about others? Which ones are not the interior angles? Dustin? Okay, what do we need? Interior means between the 2 lines, between the pair of lines. So pick out the pair of lines, you see the angles between them? Okay, I wanna know which ones are not between them so I can get rid of them.
I know.
Which ones are between, Dustin? Between the pair of lines would be, yeah, those are,
Sitting in front of the screen.
yes, you kind of blocking it.
Oh,
Okay, so 1 and 2 are not interior, 7 and 8 are not interior. So the 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the interiors. Now which ones are on the same side of the transversal? If I pick angle 4, which one is on the same side of the transversal? Which one?
3.
Nope.
5.
Here's your transversal. The ones that are on the same side would be 4 and 5. And then 3 and 6. Those do form an shape. 4 and 5. What letter is that? Either a U or I usually call it a C. It's either a forward C or a backward C, but the same side interior angles do form a C. So we do have a C and a C, and then the other 2 are just like angles. They don't really form something. Actually, if I go back, let me go back to the very first one we did, those corresponding angles. These actually do, now that I think about it. Angle 1, and then angle 2. If you put that together, it's kind of upside down. Isn't that an F?
Yeah.
So these do form some type of an F. All right, so let's now put that together on a different picture and have you come up with the name of the angles. Why don't you grab your marker board, get a dry erase screen, and have your notes there. And should we do just abbreviating? We'll put CA if it's corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, or same side interior angles. I'm just abbreviating. And I'm going to put numbers up here. I'm going to say here's angle 1, here's angle 2. You figure out which pair they are Or if I've tricked you, put none. Tristan, question?
On the edit creations, it saves all your drawings.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
Just automatically does?
yeah, like I had it and I deleted it.
How do you
So unless you delete it, they're still there? Of course, did you ever close it in between
Yeah,
and it still saved it?
yeah.
So it's kind of like your, kind of
Notability.
like your photos.
Yeah.
Everything that's saved. Okay. All right, so what I want to know is, where I've put the 1 and the 2, am I indicating corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, same side interior angles, or none of those? Put the abbreviation and I'll be able to. So do you have to draw the picture? No, I guess unless you wanted to save those, which is a valuable thing, I guess, as far as taking notes. You could always look back to that if you have some questions. Just takes a little bit longer. Okay, show me what you came up with, what type it is.
Right there.
Just kind of get, show me.
Yeah.
Can't read yours. It is alternate. Is it alternate interior or alternate exterior?
Interior, because the
Interior.
numbers are in between the lines.
Okay, correct. It's alternate interior because the angles are between the lines. So AIA, that should have
So it
said.
should form a Z.
Yes. Okay, next problem. That angle 1 and angle 2. What pair do I have on that? Tell what you wrote. I was trying to tell what you wrote.
That's because it really took.
Oh, messages.
Yeah, I better turn that on. Oh, it's telling me my supply already.
Okay, show me what that was. I'm over here.
I
No,
think it's,
no, no.
is it this?
It is that. Okay, corresponding angles. This was corresponding angles because this one is in like the lower left and this one's in the lower left also. That would be the, what letter did we say? It's an F. It's kind of a backwards F, but it does form an F. All right, let's try another one. Let's go with a 3 here and a 4 here.
Is this all?
You were to show me? I can see some of them where I'm at, not everybody's.
Is that
Okay, Dylan, what'd you have? Did I see yours?
Yeah, it was, I had alternate exterior.
delicious?
Jamie, what'd you come up with? I guess I should erase this. Okay, here are your 2 lines. Are the 3 and the 4 between the 2 lines?
No, so they're X.
No. Okay, they're outside of it, so it's exterior. And the only choice we have, alternate exterior, are 3 and 4 on different sides of the transversal. Here's your transversal. 3 is above it, 4 is below it. Those are alternate exterior angles, outside of the pair and on different sides of the transversal. Okay, let's try another one. Let's go 3, 4.
It had to be wrong.
few more?
So,
Dang it.
Okay, this one I made tricky. I gave you vertical angles. It's not corresponding because 3 is at the upper right. Down here we would need the upper right.
Well, no, because I thought we were going to do what we were today.
Yeah.
Well, so the answer was none. Alternate, some of you were giving me alternate something. I would agree that they are on different sides of the transversal, but angle 3 is an exterior angle and 4 is an interior angle. So it really was none of the pairs that I had up there. Okay, let's go with 3 here and a 4 here.
Is this how I can like circle? See if it is, I got this. I see the
4 is not
abbreviations.
interior. Austin, you should have the
We're not
different
gonna go
answer.
transversal on this.
Transversal? Which one's the transversal?
Lines
This-
that intersect at one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's.
So that line right there is the transversal. So one thing you could do is notice 3 and 4 are on the same side of the transversal, but one of them is between the pair of lines and one is not. So they can't be same side interior angles because angle 4 is not an interior angle. Okay, when they're on the same side, let's keep tracing
Is it this?
the angles. There's angle 3 and there's angle 4.
I got it, it's CA.
It was corresponding angles, yep. They are in the matching positions on the intersection. Question? Okay, next one, let's go with angle 1 and angle 2. What kind are they? You're close, but not quite right. Everybody's giving me some kind of an interior answer. Some are saying alternate interior and some are saying side interior. So are 1 and 2 on the same side of this transversal?
No.
No, so it should have been,
alternate
Alternate
interior.
interior. okay,
Yes.
all right. And let's do one more before we switch.
Here's.
Which one have I not done? Okay, let's go 3, 4. Did you do that just because it was one I hadn't done? I shouldn't have said that.
Come on, Miss Teacher.
She knows what she's doing.
That's a rookie mistake.
That was a rookie mistake.
It's right, you'll have another.
Two S's on there. Jamie, you got an idea?
This is hard. I'm gonna be faster than I
All right, all the ones that I saw were correct. Same side, interior angles. Here's the transversal, Jamie. They are on the same side. Whether they're interior or exterior, this is the space that's between the two lines. Notice angle 3 and 4 are both inside there. So there's some kind of interior angles, and they were on the same side of the transversal. All right, let's try a little bit different picture. Turned it. Okay. Angle 1, angle 2. What type of angles? We might start by saying, okay, which one's the transversal? And how are they related to the transversal? Let's see. One here. Wait a second.
Yeah, I think
I was
you're
about
off.
to
Okay,
say.
you guys were right. Colton's wrong.
Was I
He was the
wrong?
only one
Or was I
present.
right?
You were right. I think the ones I was saying, no, you were right. I thought I put it in a different spot.
Your boots are up there, man. It's small, and it's a strong one.
they are a pair. Tristan? Okay, what you doing now? Not corresponding angles. Alternate exterior. Should be alternate exterior. Okay, because here's the pair of lines. This is between the pair of lines. They're not between the pair of lines, so they are exterior. And then the transversal is this one, and they're on different sides, one above, one below. So it was alternate exterior angles. Okay. All right, same picture here. Let's put the 1 here and the 2 here. There you go. Decide where they are related to the pair of lines. If one is interior and one is exterior, it's possibly corresponding or none. And I'm getting a little bit of both. Okay.
Corresponding. F.
Corresponding because it makes an F?
Yeah.
Okay, correct. Here are the 2 angles. It makes kind of a weird F. There's a S in there.
I
But that was
basically
corresponding.
I just basically look at what kind of letter it's making.
Okay, and so corresponding makes an F. Alternate interior makes
Z,
a Z. Alternate exterior
2
makes,
L's.
okay, I was thinking of the 2 L's or 2 V's. Same side interior angles,
C.
C.
C, correct. And then none might be the X for vertical angles or something else. So yes, that would be a way to remember it. Okay, if, I think that I've assigned you maybe a problem with this that has 2 transversals. Now what you need to do on this is ignore part of the picture. If I put angle 1 here and angle 2 here, you can ignore the bottom part of the picture. Thought I had a screen shade. Where's my screen shade? I'm not seeing it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I can get rid of part of the picture because that bottom part doesn't have, it's not involved in those angles at all. So if I eliminate part of it, alternate interior angles.
Yep.
If I had the 1 here and the 2 here, which part of the picture should I ignore? The top, yep. So the top part, let's see if I can get it pulled the right way. Ignore the top part of the picture, and it makes an F, so your corresponding angles. So if there's more than 1 transversal, ignore part of the picture, and then you can decide from there. Okay. What we want to do is the follow-up, the section 3.4 is what happens when the lines are parallel. So we need to do an exploration. You have lined paper. Grab some lined paper. iPad's away for now. On lined paper, we're going to examine the measure of angles. So you do need protractors. Some of you brought stuff up here. Others still have it at your desk.
Smells good for a little bit.
Alright. Okay, on your paper, with your straight edge, so that it's nice.
Yeah, you got that
So they're saying maybe rinse off your boots or something?
No, there's nothing on them, it's just,
Just
after, yeah, after being a pig farmer for so long, your boots just smell.
Smell like that, right?
I know how it feels.
Okay, you got 2 lines highlighted on your paper? Got 2 lines highlighted? Okay, and then you're going to draw a transversal. I don't care what slant it's at. Let's not try and go at a 90-degree angle. So make a transversal that's tipped. So with your straight edge, just draw a transversal through both of those lines. And I hope you made your picture fairly good size. You're going to measure angles now. So grab your protractor, and you have 8 angles. Measure all 8 angles. If you didn't draw your edges long enough, draw them a little bit longer. Measure all 8 angles. There. Line up so that it's aligned at 0. pointing pretty much straight out there, I would call it 130. So this angle's 130.
I got it equal 79.
Okay, you're off by 1 degree.
That's a pass.
Okay, let's take a look at some results. Now, not everyone is going to have the very same degrees, but if I had this angle being 150 degrees, I can figure out some more angles right around it. What should its vertical angle be? 150. The angle over here, linear pair, 30, and 30. Now, is that going to give me any angles down here? No. But did you notice anything between the measurements you got at one intersection and those at the other?
Yeah, it's 68.
Were they the same?
Yes, I don't know.
Those of you that measured? Were yours the same? Did you just guess or did you measure? Let's just guess. Okay, when you measured, I saw somebody's was off by 1 degree. Maybe that was Dylan's. But if you did this picture accurately, the angle here and its corresponding angle, they will be the same. So then we can do the linear pairs and vertical angles. So what we should have ended up with was all 4 angles up here and all 4 angles down here are the same. That happens when these lines are parallel. So that's why we use the lines on your paper, because the lines on your paper should be parallel. So we're going to have 4 theorems. We're going to look at each of these pairings and figure out, are these pairings congruent or supplementary, or what's the relationship? Okay? And I do have some notes. If this helps speed up your note-taking, we could use this. If you'd rather just write it all out, I don't know that I'm going to wait quite long enough for you to write everything. So if you think you're going to lose this, you can write it later.
We on that Louise J.
Right. Yep. Yeah, because I want to give time for your quiz. Okay, now this picture, draw it at the top of your notes. Draw this picture and label it the way I did it. Okay, so draw that picture up at the top. Draw that picture up at the top so that you can use it for every problem.
The one with all the numbers?
The one with all the numbers. So we've got 2 lines, P and Q. We have the transversal that I called R. Number the angles to match up with mine, and we'll use that picture for every problem. Every theorem and postulate here. What we're going to take a look at is these angles that you're naming correctly, like corresponding, are they congruent when the lines are parallel? If we think back to what we had in our relationship that we measured, the corresponding, the matching angles were always the same. So the theorem, or actually postulate, a lot of you are filling in the blanks. If 2 parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then corresponding angles are congruent. So you have to have parallel lines cut by a transversal. Corresponding angles are congruent. Fill in your blanks. So then from the diagram, what that means, if you have 2 parallel lines, if P is parallel to Q, then pick out a pair of corresponding angles in the picture for me. I'll start you at 2 and 6. So this theorem says angle 2 would be congruent to angle 6. So if you know that this is 110, this one's also 110. So what we'll do in this last section is come up with angle measures. So corresponding angles, I'm going to put a note up here. They are always congruent. They're always the same degree when the lines are parallel.
Does that say if P is parallel to Q?
If P is parallel to Q, then angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. And I could have listed a lot more angles. I just picked out 1 pair for an example.
Hold on. I need to write down the
Yeah, if you don't have it numbered the same way, then the example's not gonna work well. Okay, next one?
Yep.
All right, this one says if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then alternate interior angles are congruent. The alternate interior angles will always be the same. So those two that make a Z will always be the same degree measure. So if P is parallel to Q, then what would be alternate interior angles? 4 and 6?
yes. I wasn't too sure on that, so that's why I was
It's
like.
got from these.
It's gotta form the Z, okay? So an example would be angle 4 is congruent to angle 6. Corresponding angles are congruent, alternate interior angles are congruent. Ready for the next screen?
Okay.
It's been
Right.
100%.
The next one is alternate exterior angles. So again, parallel lines cut by a transversal, alternate exterior angles are congruent. Seems to be a pattern here, right? A lot of things are congruent.
Congruent's the word of the day.
It is.
We should have a word.
So if P is parallel to Q, then let's pick out a pair of alternate exterior angles on the diagram.
1 and 7.
Good, 1 and 7. So angle 1, Brendan, is congruent to angle 7. Tristan?
You don't listen, be quiet, you
We have a word of the day here before a party every time you say that word.
Oh, interesting.
So like if you say like 5 times a day, we have 5 parties the next week. Means we don't do it.
Let's say I've never done that.
Well, you should.
Done with this screen? Okay, and the last one. This one's different. Which angles? What's the title? Same side interior angles. Okay, so if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, so the same side interior angles are supplementary. So our word of the day just went haywire. Supplementary. And what does supplementary mean? Okay, adds up to 180. Okay, so if the lines are parallel, then what would be alternate exterior angles?
2.
Not 1 and 2. They do add up to 180, but they're a linear pair.
Oh.
1, and then we need one from that other intersection, which is the other alternate exterior. If I use angle 1, down here it would be 7 to be the alternate exterior. So I don't want to mark those the same because it's that they add up to 180 degrees. Alternate, oops,
Well, I guess
wait a second,
that's true because,
okay, back up a second.
We're doing the same side.
We're doing same side,
yeah.
okay.
I was about to say.
Got me sidetracked here, sorry, erase.
Hey, you're fine.
Same side interior. I was doing alternate exterior,
Everybody
I'm
makes
sorry.
mistakes.
All right, I
4
try
and
not
5.
to because I don't want to goof it up, but
Yeah.
sometimes I make mistakes
4
just to see if you
and 5.
catch things.
Yeah.
Okay, angle 4 and angle 5 would be same side interior. So my apologies, measure of angle 4 plus measure of angle 5 equals 180. And I was thinking ahead how I was gonna explain something and I thought that's not working right. So that's how, when I realized I made a mistake.
Well, I
So
guess
4 and
'cause they're a
5.
straight line.
Well, that makes more sense.
Because the transversal is a straight line and they're on the straight line on the same side.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's the fact that these are parallel.
Oh.
And like angle 1 and 5 would be the same because they're corresponding. And 1 and 4 add up to 180, we know because of linear pair, so it's kind of like you're replacing it. All right. I think we will, shall we do examples and quiz Tuesday, or shall we just try it and get the quiz done?
Quiz Tuesday.
I don't wanna start. the
Even after the
quiz.
break?
Yes, I don't wanna start the
Okay.
quiz.
All right.
I think
Because-
here's what we should do.
Doesn't quite work.
Quiz Wednesday, review Tuesday, and then do whatever you're doing.
I'll give some thought.
So?
If we quiz on Tuesday, we'll do some reviewing
Make sure
first.
you know all material.
Okay, so let's finish up a few examples and then get to some homework.
You are awesome.
Instead of the
This is why
quiz.
you're the best teacher.
This is why I put off tests and quizzes.
Well, that
for you,
and
huh?
you teach you.
All right, let's go to this picture. Notice I did mark the lines parallel. So let's see if you can correctly tell me the measure of each angle. Okay, so raise your hand to tell me which angle you can figure out, what it is, and support yourself. Colton,
Angle 2 is 120.
reason?
Vertical angle.
Very good. Vertical angle theorem.
Angle 1 is 60.
Because?
Linear pair postulate.
Okay, you could use linear pair that way or this way. Okay. Mitch,
Angle 3 is 60.
because?
Vertical angle.
Good. Okay, Austin.
Angle 5 is 120 because corresponding angles.
Okay, corresponding angles would be, he's looking at which one?
5, 2.
Corresponding isn't that one, that's alternate
5
exterior.
and 4.
The one without her.
The one without a number.
Yeah.
8.
those two would be corresponding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
So that's
what he
okay.
said.
That's
Yep,
what
that's
I was
okay for
trying
his
to say.
reason.
I didn't see the 4, I thought you were labeling and I usually do the 4 times 1.
No, I was just pointing out what reason, so that they knew that these were the corresponding ones you're looking at. Could you have said alternate exterior angle theorem?
Yeah,
Yes, you
good,
could
I
have.
did.
Okay, Colton,
7 is 120.
because?
Vertical.
Okay, vertical. He could have also said same side interior angles theorem. Okay. How about 4 or 6? Jake, I know you know what we're doing. Can you give me angle 4 or 6?
4 is 60.
Okay, reason?
Uh,
Linear pair theorem. Jamie, how about angle 6? Reason? Okay, vertical angles. Okay, seems like you have the basic idea. Let's get some homework time. There might be some algebra ones that I didn't go over with you, but that's the basic idea. Okay, so since we're putting off our quiz, let's get some homework time done. Page 123.
Tell your pigs to listen.
Okay, this page, okay, listen please to finish out.
Page 1, 2, 3.
On this page, 1, 2, 3, it does not have parallel lines, but you're still picking out